But you got to pick your line, that's for sure. Ooh, that's steep. So guys, I just did a real bad thing to Josh. I know he likes his filming too. I'd be devastated. I moved his bike and didn't see his helmet, and it landed on his chin mount, which snapped. Running me, jeez. It's getting deep. There you go, some little kangaroos. And some more kangaroos, they're everywhere. Well, good morning everybody. It's morning number 8. We're past the halfway mark in days, but not kilometres yet. But yeah, finally on the old coach road. We've heard a lot about it. We're super pumped about it too. We spoke to one of the local camp owners down the road. I believe his name was Reggie. I hope I have that right. And he said that the hard bit of the old coach road is not as long in kilometres as we first anticipated. But that's totally fine. He said you're going to have a great ride and the roads are fantastic beyond the hard stuff. Looking forward to getting to some ruins and get the bikes next to some cool historic stuff to get some photos. But our camp was awesome. We had a little fire, we had a swim, we sat by the river all night and oh poor kangaroo. Oh wowzers, these are everywhere. Got to slow it down. But anyway, we're going to get amongst it and see what the day brings, the old coach road. This is a sign that Reggie was telling us to look out for. No service at Maytown, high clearance forward drive recommended. Once again, there's no motorbike sign there, or motorbikes recommended. Beauty. But that's where we're off to. It's a pretty nice, neat sign as well. Pretty new by the looks of it. It's a much different bush out here as well. Just get up there, hang on. It's a much different bush here. Very green, that's for sure. A lot more smaller bushes and fallen debris. It's definitely changing as we go south now. Just don't know where Josh is though. Looks like he's lining it up. He's like, shit, which way do I go? Here he comes. Go, go, go. Ooh. Probably doesn't look like much on GoPro. It's still tricky. There we go. This is dead set, just like me riding at home at Lithgow and Nunes. Just rock everywhere. Ooh. Just rock everywhere and hardcore terrain. The only thing I'm worried about is watch as Josh comes up. Oh, where's he going? Hey, he's cheating me. He's a better sand rider, but where's he going? Oh, okay. Anyone that trains in a gym should know what the word DOMS, or the acronym DOMS, means, delayed onset muscle soreness. Well, I've dead set got DOMS in my hands. My hands, what am I doing? My hands are just trashed from holding onto this motorbike way too tight. I know I've got to be more relaxed, but I just don't have that knack. But yeah, hands DOMS. Who would have thought that was a thing? Have a look at the landscape though, like from what we've been in all the tropics and stuff to just a typical higher altitude sort of terrain, but it's just phenomenal. All the open grass, scattered trees throughout, the random termite nest that you can come across. Bit of a route there. Yeah, it's making this section of the trip very, very enjoyable. However, it's playing havoc on my rear setup with all the sort of bashing around on the rear subframe, but it's staying in one piece at least. I just can't risk another shit show like on the old telly where I lost all my stuff, so I'm just keeping an eye on it. And so glad that we started this in the morning at 20 degrees rather than yesterday afternoon at 33, because it's already getting hot quick. The bikes, you can just hear them working harder, so a very good call to stop early yesterday. Makes this bit a bit more enjoyable rather than sweating your tits off, that's for sure. Palmer Goldfields Resources Reserve. All materials in this reserve are protected. Do not remove. Trustees, Queensland Department. Yeah, okay. Well, this is the area we selected on the map. We've already done 53 kilometres, and apparently it's only 75 kilometres long. So, a real, pretty cruisy going so far, really. It's just got some phenomenal mountain ranges all the way down there. 360 degrees. And now it looks like we've got a bit of a descend to happen, and then probably another ascend, and no doubt the track will get fairly challenging. Now my problem is, I always say it, my setup doesn't allow me to put my bum back, and I'm far too upright for such a track, and it makes riding very difficult. It's my own doing. I just need to get a better setup, maybe something like Josh where his side pannies are much larger and all my weight can be down by the bike and my bum can move. But riding this sort of stuff does make it hard when you can't squat. It's alright, we'll get going though, make it happen. You get some real steep sections, but they're just full of rock. At least they're not too loose, these ones, but you got to pick your line, that's for sure. Ooh, that's steep. That is steep. Oh, do we have a bit of water maybe? Nah, no water. Alright, here's a bit of a doozy. Just got a tractor mode. Come on, Sally. For Victorian high country. Whew. Come on. Good climbing. On you, Sally. Just passed some four-wheel drivers and they said we've only got about 5 kilometres to go of this kind of terrain, which means we're coming to an end on the old coach road. See what all the fuss is about at the ruins. I love my history, even though I don't really know the origins normally until I read it, but I just find it so fascinating that it doesn't matter who it was, but somebody built things back then, and that they got out here somehow, and would have had far more tougher conditions than what we faced on our bikes and cars. Josh and I are just having a bit of a break. He's laughing at me because I stuffed up what I was saying, but anyway, blooper reel one day. But yeah, we've decided to have a stop because it's getting hot, but it's pretty well signposted out here, which is good because there are a few little tracks here and there that aren't showing up on my map, so it's good to know that you can't really get lost. But yeah, it's getting so hot. We definitely need a break, that's for sure. So do the bikes. Fuck! So guys, I just did a real bad thing to Josh. I know he likes his filming too. I'd be devastated. I moved his bike and didn't see his helmet, and it landed on his chin mount, which snapped. I do have a spare chin mount, but I don't know if it's gonna, well, it'll work here for this, but it won't work with that, but I'm gonna have to give it to him, obviously. Oh, I'm so sorry, mate. Yeah, you don't even have to laugh about it, to be honest. You can Lance. That sucks. So luckily, I've never ever brought a spare one, but I've got this, which I'm gonna give to Josh. But he doesn't realise what I'm actually doing. He's trying to sabotage his video, so everyone watching his stuff has to come over to my channel to watch the last 5 days of our ride. So if we can't get this to work, he's up shit creek, that's for sure. I feel so bad for him. Oh man, poor Josh.
I'll get you back, mate.
yeah, you'll cut my chain in half or something. Tell you what, this last climb out, it has been going on forever, but I wasn't filming because there was no time to stop. I was just able to grab the camera just now to show it. Holy moly. Oh no, we're not going that way. Take the chicken route. Oh, she's not over yet. Whew. That is pretty full on. Ooh, good riding, Josh. This hill just keeps on going. Holy moly. Come on, Sally and the other Suzuki. Let's climb. Oh, nice. It's going to get to a real high point, hopefully. We just got this slight descend down into the valley, but right on the edge of the mountain range. I'm trying to get the views in for you while I'm riding, but don't want to go where I look and head down there. But have a look at that. Oh, better pay attention to the road. Whew, some doozies of a rocks just hanging around in the middle of the track. Oh, I'm so sorry, bike. You're getting absolutely flogged on this trip. Well, we've got a river crossing, but she's dry. A little bit of water. Looks a bit how you're going. Trying to not get the boots wet. Have a look at this old relic. Wow, that's pretty cool. Like a big old furnace in there. Wow, pretty cool indeed.
You're the History Channel here. What is this?
Oh, mate, according to my brain, this is a big furnace which would have created drive into these wheels, and this would have shifted or sifted some sort of mining material, I'd say. That could also be completely wrong.
Or would those things have, like,
maybe
the rock up?
as these turn. Yep. If anyone knows exactly what this actually is, yeah, chuck it in the comments. The Louisa, a museum of pumping technology. It's another old pile of metal sitting here. I always wonder when I come to a place like this, what was the demise of it? Surely it wasn't an overnight thing, but no doubt they ran out of what they were looking for. But how long did that go? Why didn't they take the machinery with them? Did something else happen? Who knows? Yeah, so just for the last 5 kilometres we've been right along the main track to the actual Maytown site, and it's just scattered of every 500 metres to a kilometre or so of a relic of some sort. And you can just, yeah, they're very close to the main track. It's like a little history tour. I mean, this one's pretty cool as well. What do we got here? The Comet Mill and Mine Site. Reef mining on the Palmer Goldfields. This one looks like something that you'd hang someone from. Someone, you're doing the mining wrong, and back in those days you get in trouble, boom, hanged. Crazy, eh? We got 2 DRZ400Es going past all the relics, not knowing that our bikes are going to be relics in the very near future. Look at this big thing, holy moly. That's the real deal. What an absolute machine.
I'd rather have that set up today, I think.
I thought that was one of the relics. I was like, what's going on here? Fantastic. Holy moly. Sorry to impose. Maytown. Which way though is Maytown? Apparently there's all these buildings somewhere. Not sure where though. Oh, unless from what I was told the buildings used to be here, but this is a sign of the old rocked road that they had and the gutter system. Oh, I see. Yeah, so they've got, by the looks of it, all these plaques along there that we can read. Let me have a look at that. Yeah, like this one says the W. Smith Hotel. I think he meant that the buildings are gone, but these are all where they were. They're all these plaques.
Yeah, so this must have been the main...
Yeah, I thought he meant the buildings are still there. Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're going to see a whole town. But, oh, so this was the main drag, okay. Yeah.
I thought he said there was like stone, like...
Yeah, you can see the evidence of the stone still.
Yeah,
and the guttering. I think he meant like that it's still left behind to a degree.
Picturing like a suburban street.
Yeah. We're so dumb when it comes to that. Yeah, I honestly thought he meant the hotels are still standing. I was like, well, that can't be right.
There's a little shack over the back there.
Yeah. So that one there is the baker. So the baker was there. I know I'm missing some. This one is the stores. This one is another store. That one's also the store, just different names on it. And that one's the King Veen store, the King Yi store. We're winding our way down the mountain. It's an unbelievable bit of road, very well maintained, unless we're just at the right time of year. But it zigzags for a whole heap of bush. But whilst I was riding, I just think like those mining towns, if all the Chinese people came to do that, how do they get to know about it though? Like, who was the first person? Yep, there's gold here, let's come. Because we're in the middle of nowhere. Just blows my mind. Here's the Palmer River. No doubt can really be flowing at times. Oh, it kind of ends here maybe. It's a bit strange. It's not flowing. There you go, Sally, have a bit of a clean off. Yeah, right. I was expecting that to be flowing, but it kind of looks like it just stops there. Maybe the water level's not high enough. So now that we've done the old coach road, Josh and I have the opinion that the rest of our trip, even though we're going to be seeing some awesome stuff, should be all fast-paced, higher kilometre sort of riding. The only problem is we don't know if the tracks we've chosen, how hard, easy, dry, wet, boggy, dusty, what they are like. We didn't find information on it, so our trip truly turns into another adventure in the sense that we really are going into the unknown for us. We've got a rough route, zero information about that route other than it gets us home, and just give it a shot. We don't know where we're camping each night now. We don't know how far we can get each day. So very interesting to see how it all pans out. Exciting. Around this corner in a second, the Australian landscape at its finest. Look at that. I mean, that's just sensational. Wow. A lot of countryside, that's for sure. Bloody beautiful. Geez, I've had a privileged time just riding through all this sort of stuff this trip. Coming across the best scenery. Fantastic. Josh is crazy. I was way ahead of him. He's caught up, overtaken me, and he goes so I thought I used to ride fast, but either I'm getting old and slow, but he does everything at 100 miles an hour. He reckons he doesn't, but he does. Oh, good on him. Wow, how nice is that? That's fantastic. I actually want to go swimming in that, but I still think there's potential for crocodiles around here. That's the problem. Oh, that's fantastic. Josh is just fixing up some stuff. Yahoon! He's crazy. He's only 8 years younger than me, but that 8 years must be all the difference. Ever since Josh overtook me and fanging it, and then I called him Mahoon, he goes, oh, I'm just having too much fun on this road. And he is right, like you can really open up and give it to it and drift on the corners. But now I know why he's always using, oh, bit of a lock up, why he's always using more fuel, because he's revving the shit out of it. And now he's got me doing the same thing, which is fun, but I don't know if it's conducive to long life engine wear. That's that's all. Oh no, I shouldn't be peer pressured into riding the same way. Getting old and safe is the way to go, but yeah, it is fun. Unfortunately, me and Josh have had to go our own way for now. He had his brand new Insta360 on this, and as we got to the end of the Palmer Goldfields, he realised it's missing, and the last photo he took was about 50 kilometres back. He really wants to find it, so he's gone back to have a look where he thinks it might have fallen off, and then I'm heading back towards 140k down here to the next main town. I need to buy a few things that he doesn't need, or take up some time, like a new mattress and stuff. So we've kind of gone our own way just to try to tick off a few things at the same time. I don't like his chances of finding it, but hey, you've got to give it a shot. It's an expensive camera and it might still be intact, and he's got a lot of footage on that, and I know what it's like to lose something like that, because it's really shit when you've got all this footage for this trip and you don't have that anymore. So at the very least, he finds the camera, he's got the SD card. At the very best, the camera's still good and there's no dramas, but yeah, he had it up here and it's gone. So anyway, I'm going to now go to town. I'll probably have to wait a few hours for it, but it's not a drama at all, and I'll suss out some accommodation and whatnot, so we'll see how we go. Well, I need to suss out some camping gear, but before I do that, I want to get some lunch, and I'm going to hit up some bloody Domino's. How good will that be? It's not my usual go-to adventure food, but right now I'm absolutely starving. I'm going to suss this town out for accommodation and a inflatable mattress and gas. Oh man, I'm just running out of everything. I've just pulled up to the Maytown in Maribor, if that's how we pronounce it. Now this is my last chance to find something. I gave them a phone call, the third store here, and this is the only store that says they may have something. So fingers crossed, because otherwise I'm sleeping on the dirt for the rest of the trip. Let's have a look. So the Maytown also did not have what I needed. So Maribor, you have let me down, unfortunately. There is no inflatable mattresses to be had. And I've just been in touch with Josh via his Garmin InReach. He doesn't think he's going to make the next fuel stop, and I've just called ahead and they close at 3 p.m. so he may be up shit creek. So I'm going to make the executive decision, book a caravan park, set up and get ready to run a fuel bladder 50k up the highway if need be later, depending on how far Josh gets. And I don't believe he's found his camera, so it's all touch and go at the moment. I feel sorry for him, but I'll set up, get ready, and if I have to, I'll just have to run some fuel out so we can get him into town. So watch this space. It's a bit of a shitty time at the moment actually, but that's all right, we'll sort it out. So I got word of Josh, and yeah, they said he thinks he's going to run out of fuel, so I've booked the accommodation here. He can set up here when he gets here. It's not where he wanted to be, but it is what it is. So I've set up as quick as I can. I'm going to quickly have a shower and de-kit the bike the best I can, because I am actually expecting a call from him that he's ran out of fuel, but he's got no reception, so he's just going to see how far he goes, and if he doesn't make it, I'll shoot out as far as I have to with a bladder. Lucky we've got them, and if he does make it, well then obviously he'll be here shortly. But just waiting to hear from him. It's a bit of a worry. I feel sorry for the bugger, but he's a tough bloke. He'll nut it out, no doubt, and I'll hopefully hear from him soon either way. We'll see how we go. Whilst I'm waiting for Josh, which I actually just heard from him, he actually found his camera. I haven't heard the story yet, and he was about to run out of fuel 70k out, but he made it to a petrol station that was closed, but the owner let him fill up. So otherwise that was going to be a 140 kilometre return trip for myself to bring him fuel, which is totally fine. So I'm waiting to hear from the story, so I'm super pumped for him. But whilst I've been waiting, I've been checking my bike, and all the corrugations, I've lost that main bolt out of the exhaust. It's still holding up here, but I know when that one goes, it causes a lot of pressure on the rest of the bolts. So I'm going to try to see if I can whip up a spare, but it's not looking good. But that's probably the one thing that's gone wrong so far from all the corrugations. We'll see how we go though. So believe it or not, I actually went through my kit, and I have one of these bolts and two of these nuts. They're the only big ones I had, and this bolt just is the right thread for that one, but it's way too long. So what I'm going to try to do is put it in as far as I can with holding it with my hand, put heaps of Loctite, and then I'm going to try and do a lock these two nuts together to the perfect amount, and hopefully that'll be like a double whammy of Loctite, and that should get me out of trouble. I can't believe it, but let's give it a go and see if that's going to work. Always pays off to carry some random nuts and bolts, eh? Let's see. So I've just put this bolt in here. It's way too long, but I've Loctited these together and against that with Loctite, so hopefully that bad boy holds. But on another note, here's poor Josh. He has had a mammoth day. He found his camera. It's a bit damaged, but his SD card's there, and he's done an extra about 140k more than me. But what an absolute what an absolute find. He finally found it. Watch his channel for all that. But anyway, I'm glad to see him here. We're back on track, so to speak. He's just really hungry, the poor bloke.
I'm wrecked, mate, I'm wrecked.
He's wrecked. So we're just gonna get sorted. He's gonna have a shower, then we're gonna go to Macca's, go to Coles, and we'll just kick things off tomorrow morning. That'll be day 8 done and dusted. The old coach road and a heap of tar and finding a lost camera. It happens, it happens.